Hey, so we're going to go over what we've done on this Bronco here. We've added a light bar, the fog lights, and some extra reverse lighting along with backlit pods. So this customer had the factory uplifter switches on the interior, and we'll show you how all that was connected in a moment here. But let's start off with the fog light pocket kit. It consists of a SS3 pod and a SSC2 pod. Those are the stage series. Now you got the fog light on the inside here, and then we have the combo pattern on the outside. All these are backlit, which means you can hook up a wire and run it so that way you have an amber backlighting. And we set that up to one of the switches so we can show you how that works. It's very bright, noticeable in the daytime. We are in the shop obviously, but it'll give you a really cool look. And once the parking lights are on, you'll see it actually matches with the whole front end. You got the side markers, parking lights, everything's amber, so I think it gives you a nice look. But it's optional. You don't have to hook up the backlighting if you don't want. Also on the front here in the center, we've added the Diode Dynamics 18-inch light bar. Comes with the brackets. It's been mounted on this setup here. And that gives additional high beam or auxiliary output to further the output of these little two SSC2 pods. And you'll see the difference shortly. All right, so these are the fog lights turned on. We've got them set up to one of the switches inside. And as soon as the fog light is turned on, the backlighting turns off. That's automatic. And this is the Sport. And they also have the Pro and the Max SS3. So you can kind of go crazy with this if you want, but these are plenty, especially for a vehicle that did not come with any fog lights. All right, so these are the SS3 Sport fog lights. Again, they can come in stronger outputs if you really wanted to. Let's turn on the low beams as well. So you can see the fog lights give you some really, really nice width. And we'll turn on the combo SSC2 pods. And you can see this positions, we have them aimed a little bit over the low beam cutoff, and this is additional off-road lighting or additional high beams. And let's turn off the SSC2s and put on the light bar. So now you've got the 18-inch light bar. That is really the star of the show in terms of off-road distance lighting. It's really narrow. It's going to give you good distance, and that's really, really bright compared to the SSC2 combo. So both of those work really well together. However, the light bar gives you a little bit more performance. As you can see, it's too bright to stand in front of, but that essentially is the setup on the front end. All right, so to back up for a second, this is a plug and play fog light kit by Diode Dynamics. Comes with all the wiring, 2 relay harnesses, one for the off-road lighting, which are the SSC2 pods, and one for the fog lights. Now, if you have the factory uplifter switches, you have some wiring passing through the firewall. However, this customer installed the Rough Country switch panel here, and we've got everything set up here. There is a bunch of wires to really tidy up. We've crammed them down in this corner, but everything looks pretty well set up. We've got the, looks like one of the relays set up here, and that is for the, for one of the harnesses, and another relay is set up a little bit further back. But it does take a little bit of time to set up. This took about 2 hours just to set up for the fog light pocket. However, very, very well made. Everything's set up properly. You don't have to modify anything if you don't have a switch panel. We did have the aftermarket switch panel, so there was some small modifications, but everything's set up to those uplifter switches, and it's a fully protected setup. All right, we've got the vehicle running. It's in reverse, so those are the factory reverse lights. We'll show you those outside the vehicle, but we can turn on the switch for the SSC2 pods, and you can see it provides additional light output for reverse. Okay, so these are the factory reverse lights, and we're going to put out pods for you. And I'll show you how that looks like one more time. We've got the vehicle a little bit more forward. All right, these are the pods on, SSC2 combos, and we're going to turn them off now. So it'll give you some better performance when you're backing up or on the trails. We've had this set up on one of the switches, so that way, even if the vehicle's not in reverse, you're on the trail, you need to see a little bit better, you'll be able to do that. Now, these have a red backlight. We set it up to the same switch that has the backlight for the front. So even if all your lights are off, you have a backlight. It gives you a little bit of a different look than you see. And you can see the backlighting on the front as well. So that's a wrap for this one. If you guys have any questions, email us. It's info@lightworks.net. We can set this up on your Bronco, or we can sell you the parts